So we are headed to the yard to go grab some Otis parts to go fix Josh's little red dually. So we're gonna have that back on the road today. Like I said, if you guys can find an M-F EST two-wheel drive, just the trans for a decent price, let me know. I'm trying to find something under 2,500 bucks if possible. We literally just need the trans. But I'll show you guys what's going on. I forgot to put the plate back on Bertha, so we're going down High Street. We'll see if we get pulled over today, but I'm gonna go put that back on when we get to the yard. So this is the most annoying in the world, right? You see how I got it? It's right here. I'm gonna clean this off for Josh. I went and I measured it, and it was a 33 millimeter, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go buy a 33 millimeter. But then when I got there, I started second guessing myself. So I'm like, cool, I'll just buy a 34 as well, you know, whatever. And then I'm like, how am I gonna get this thing off? So I went and spent money on a damn gear puller over there. I have the ones in the bed, but like, I didn't know if I could use them because they don't work with some of the ones that I've done, right? So I'm like, cool, I'll just do that. So $91 later, when I only needed to spend $20, that literally just pulls right off as soon as you put a 33 mil nut on it. I didn't need to buy the puller or the 33, but I got $20 back. But there's, for anyone wondering, there's Otis. I am going to be gutting this week. I'm pulling the wheels, tires, the axles, the motor, transfer case, because the transmission somebody wants, the transfer case somebody wants. Wheels, tires, I'm gonna stack them in my house. I'm gonna grab all basically the good stuff on this, and then pretty much the doors. I'm gonna grab the the hood, and like some of the core support stuff and whatnot. But other than that, trans cooler and the FSD trans lines, those are going, but you guys get the point. So all of this is getting gutted down, and then the entire body is just gonna get scrapped. So now I have this nice OEM tool 5-ton puller. Might not need it for a second gen, but probably gonna need it for any of these third gens because y'all ask me to do rear pinion seals a lot. Alright, well, we got this all nice and clean for the most part. You guys saw how it looked before, so hopefully this 33 works. Yeah, I technically didn't have to spend any money today because Josh had the sockets, but figure I'll need one eventually. Internet says use a 6-point. They said this was a 1 5/16. They had a 33. Same thing. So we have some bad news. Apparently this can't just be easy, right? Nothing can be easy, right? Let's get under here. So this is the size that came off of Otis, 33 millimeter. That is 1 5/8 inches, which I do not have. But even still, like, they look the same. This physically looks like it would, I don't know if that, I don't even think that slides over the splines. But like, that is just absolute massive difference. So I don't think he's going to be able to use Otis or this yoke. But they both have 354 rears, which is what throws me off. Like, that's the same there, the outside. But I don't have 1 5/8 inches, so I'm going to have to go get one of those now. Alright, so here's where we are at again. So what I did was I just went and ordered the friggin' socket. It was 30 bucks on Amazon for next day delivery. So I got one on order. Josh might get a pinion on order. I'm not sure yet, depending on if that one works or not. I know we want to get this thing out of here. Spoke too soon, saying Josh will have 2 running vehicles. I feel like that's what screwed it up, but whatever. It's 1 7/8 inches. And then we got to grind the socket down. So that's gonna be fun. Alright, so next day, unfortunately Josh's truck happened to be a Dana 80 and this one's a Dana 70, so whatever. But I gotta get as much of this shit pulled as possible today. I got someone coming for the engine, I got someone coming for the PCM, I got someone coming for the entire wire harness. And I'm gonna put the drive shaft yoke back on. We're gonna pull the drive shaft, pull the transfer case. It was raining earlier, otherwise I would have been here earlier. I'm gonna get the trans cooler pulled. I'm gonna get this guy pulled. There is a little bit of damage on this, so I'll probably just throw this away. But the trans cooler, I'm gonna straighten out some of those fins from the hood kind of smacking it, and I'm gonna try to make that nice again because I have the trans cooler going with the full send diesel lines. So this is where we're at pretty much. I gotta grab some gloves and gotta get some pictures. I was surprised, like things like the PCM. I was able to get the PCM and the wire harness sold, so there's $400 right there just for literally nothing. All right, so I'm gonna be taking all this coolant. I just got 4 jugs. I'm gonna be recycling this. Same with the trans fluid. I'm gonna be recycling it and putting it in Bertha because it's free. Now, I understand where people's concerns came in with this truck of, hey, you know, you could save the hassle and just sell the whole thing outright. Unfortunately, businesses have downtime. I get downtime. I've been busy all week, but today's a day that I just don't have anything going on today. You know, I got jobs scheduled right now, but today I don't have anything going on. So, in my day off, I'm just going to come out and take parts off this, and I can make, you know, some of my money back. I will easily make the $9 grand back off of all of the parts, and then some also on top of the content that I've made with this truck. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'll probably break even on everything, all said and done. It's not a big deal. I might actually think about buying more second gens to part them out. Like, if I can find trucks for like $3 grand or something with a good motor, I mean, I'll buy them all day long and keep doing this because it's just kind of nice to have something to do on your downtime. But that's just the reasoning right there. But I'm going to get, once all the coolant is drained, I'm going to start, you know, draining it into buckets and whatnot, because that's all good green coolant. Like, that's super clean. So I'll filter it, obviously, before I throw it in, because there's probably a couple little dead bugs or something in there. But it's all for me. Same thing with the transmission. I'll do the same damn thing, because I changed the trans fluid on this once, but, you know, it's getting down there pretty low. Maybe we throw another thing of trans fluid in it. All right, so here's where we're kind of at. I got the core support out because that's literally brand new. The guy literally went and got a new one. I don't know, made in Taiwan, but this I'm gonna scrap that. Radiator's good. Working on getting the wire harness off because, like I said, he needed the chassis harness. So I'm trying to see what all goes along with that. Some of these plugs are kind of a pain in the ass. Trying to get this battery tray off, and that nut isn't seized, but it's spinning up here. But this is where we're pretty much at. I'm probably going to leave this alone for now. Might grab the grill and the hood eventually. The right side fender, I feel like this fender's kind of rotted. I did get $50 for the other one, so it is what it is. There was a nice little rot hole in that. Yeah, I got this guy off. All the harness, whatnot, I got to get the harness out of there. Trying to grab as much of the truck harness as possible for this guy. But I think I'm going to start working on the back of the truck now, since it's kind of like dried off a little bit. It's nice. Also, I was trying to get this spot, and apparently somebody beat me to it. I put myself on the waiting list, and that wasn't good enough, so whatever. This is off, so that's $150 for the day. The harness, it's $250, so that's $400 today just on those 2 parts alone. Someone's interested in the engine for $25. Gonna try to make a deal on that today, if possible. I don't mind pulling it. But transfer case, I had someone interested in it. I told him $500 because I see him going in between $400 and $1,200, but the guy never got back to me, so whatever. But I'm gonna get that pulled as well, and then we're gonna get the rear yoke back on. But eventually I'm gonna get this thing up. We need the wheels, tires, both axles. I did drain the trans fluid. You guys will see I got a bunch of fluid down there, so I'm gonna reuse all that, put that in some quarts. And I think that's where we're at for now. I might grab the mirrors eventually. And yeah, we'll see what else. I'm kind of just doing this as an on-call basis, but I figure I'll strip down as much as I can today, because when someone asks, I don't feel like coming out here after work and tearing stuff down when it can already be there. Hey, I'll just meet you out there, you know? So same with mirrors and like all this little small shit. Radiator, core support. I'm gonna leave the engine as intact as possible, so we're gonna leave the turbo and all that. I did sell the horn and the intercooler piping and all that, but besides that, I'm gonna leave the engine as complete as I possibly can. Transfer case is out. Hopefully dude takes it, because I see him going online for anywhere between $400 and $1,200. Remans and used ones. This one looks like it was rebuilt at one point. How do I know? I see the friggin' RTV on it. It doesn't have the mileage that the truck has, but I don't know how many miles it has on it. I do know the trans has 20,000. I did see the Jasper sticker on the trans, so we'll see how it goes. A lot of guys said that the reason the overdrive issue on the trans, that could be a TPS sensor or that stupid ground that goes over the alternator. I don't know why these second gen trucks, I've seen guys put brand new transmissions in these, and the trans was never the issue. There's a wire, I guess, that you got to reroute one of these wires or some shit. Makes the truck shift weird or whatnot. I don't know. It's really weird. Getting close. I'm gonna probably start calling it for the day here soon. It's about 2 o'clock. But I got a lot of the important stuff off that I need to. When someone wants the engine, I'm probably gonna pull the engine this weekend. Let's be real here. But I don't really have a place to store it, so we'll see. All right, yeah, I was right. I'm calling it for the day. Transfer case is under there, drive shaft's under there, so that way it's out of the rain or anything like that. I got the radiator back here, and core support up there, trans cooler in there. Liam threw the damn bucket on top of it. I'm gonna have to straighten some of them fins out. But for what it is, she's sitting here looking nice. All right, so it's maintenance day. We just got our 300 miles on the change. I'm gonna pull all this off, clean everything with kerosene, and then give it a good clean down, and we're also gonna detail it. But I just went and swapped out these little piece of shit push clips with actual bolts that go the whole way down. Like I said, we're gonna clean this real quick. But these bolts, that took me about an hour to do because these two were easy. This one was easy, and this one was easy. Between these two here, trying to reach down in there, and I'll just show you here. I was using you can see in there, I was using those. They're like that little rubber bushing that has like a threaded insert in it. I don't think I have any left, but the same thing, yeah, these right here. So I was using those, so that way that's a lot more sturdy. We're also going to be pulling the fuel tank off because I did find my gas tank drains. What do you call them? I can't even think of the name right now. The vents. So I'm going to pull this back off because there was a hose that was left open, and I'd like to put it to those vents where they actually belong. So we're going to get this popped up here in a minute, but I definitely wanted to get that taken care of. Good wash and good chain maintenance. Like I said, you're supposed to do these about every 300 miles. Clean and lube the chain, so that's what I'm gonna do every other tank. It's Friday now, so that way we should have no issues this weekend. Brakes are on order as well, and then between the tires and the shocks, those are gonna be the next thing. But this one's not bad yet, but I'm definitely gonna be getting a different size. Probably gonna be dumbing this down, I think, a little bit. This is a 250/17, and then the fronts, we're probably going to go a size down on the front as well. So trying to get this thing prepped, I mean, pretty good for, I mean, it's only 600, but we're trying to prep it for roll racing, and not super much of a stretch on it because I do still like to hit corners and whatnot. You can see how new these tires are on the corner. So, I mean, I'm not hitting them that deep, but you get the point. So, but I think we are going to leave this color scheme at this point because, I mean, the gold pops with the with this. The only thing, we'll have to get these powder coated. Thinking about doing these in white to kind of match the seats. I'm gonna skip the adjustment for the day. I had to get the chain oiled. She's a little on the looser side, which I'm happy with that. I'm gonna wait another 300 miles and then we'll adjust the chain, but everything's cleaned off, lubed, and all that. So she's looking pretty good. We're gonna be taking this tonight to the gym. Hopefully Saturday. I've agreed to meet up with a dude, so we're going to be picking this up on Saturday because when I get behind semis, this likes to wiggle pretty bad. The other thing, probably going to just cut this guy off, and then once the cage comes, because that's the only thing on this side, I don't really need that, but everything else maintenance wise is done. We got the hose hooked up down there in the correct spot. Alright, so today is Sunday. I decided to, take Saturday off and kind of just do my own thing. But today, we got some work to do, so I'm going to try to get even more parts off of this thing. I got the T-case, I want to get that home. I went and grabbed a clean bucket so I can dump this transmission fluid in. And I'd like to say I want to get the transmission out. I didn't bring a jack. But I'd like to say I want to get the trans out. And I have someone come in this week for the motor, but I don't have an easy place to really store that. And I also got someone coming for the wire harness, so I need to finish that up. His belt snapped, so he wasn't able to come out. He got halfway here and then his belt snapped, and yeah, so fun. But as you can see, that's where we were at with the wire harness. So I'm going to start plugging away a little bit more with the wire harness. Probably going to get the angle grinder out and cut this guy out because that's kind of junk. So here's where we're at. I got all of the torque converter bolts out, but I got to go meet a customer now. So that's where we're left off. All the torque converter bolts are out, and I got 1, 2, 3. I think I got, let me see. I got 3 bolts out on this side and then 2 on the other side. So that means I need to get the top one and the top 2 on the other side. And then the trans is ready to come out. So, I mean, pretty much nothing's holding this thing in other than the motor mounts. I could literally just pick this thing up and move it. So I think, I mean, for the little bit of progress I made today, we've been doing pretty good. So I'm gonna call it at that. The main reason I got this harness unplugged. I wanted to be able to, I want to pull the motor so I can get the rest of the harness, because like there's a couple of clips in the firewall and I don't want to damage it, but I'm going to give the guy the entire wire harness for 250 bucks. So we did get the AC condenser off and out of the way, but I need to grab that as well. Alright, so I kind of got interrupted yesterday. Today's Monday now. So what I'm going to try to do is I know I said it yesterday, but I definitely want the trans on the ground. I grabbed a jack, so we're going to try and get the transfer case in the back of the truck and grab a couple other things, odds and ends off. This little bastard right here, you guys can see, got me pretty good yesterday. And then after that, I smacked my head off of this. So double whammy for me. I'm going to throw some gloves on. We're going to grab the transfer case, get everything loaded up. Now I'm going to pull the transmission, so that way I can get the rest of the wire harness. I'm going to try to get that off and set aside for dude. And I've been slacking on that, but that's 250 bucks. Also, guys, don't be asking me for any of this stuff. I mean, you can send me messages and whatnot, but most of the stuff is spoken for. I'm just kind of dragging my feet, getting some stuff moved around. And don't even worry about that. We're not selling things on the channel anymore. I'm going to be strictly using Marketplace or directs from now on, because honestly, it's actually a lot better. So throw that up there. I'm just giving you guys, this is basically just an update of what's going on with Otis. I don't know who needs to hear this, but these second gens, they are not good trucks. These things absolutely suck. Trying to get this cross member out, and I see what Josh is always bitching about when he's doing his, and his is in a manual, so it's probably even easier than this. There's just like the unnecessary, it just sucks. I don't know. And then the 4 bolts, like you got to come up under in there and shit, and like, yeah, it sucks. I got Liam fetching tools. I haven't come out of here yet. Just ripped a glove, but she's ready to come out. I just want to get this cross member out of the way. Alright, so I got the transmission up. So, got everything together. Got this little guy here. I didn't tighten the nut or anything, because you're going to have to take it off to throw it back together. So, there you go. Got to put this in the bed. Got someone coming for that. And then really all that's left is get the motor out, the wire harness out, wheels, tires, axles. I'd like to start grabbing axles. But once the motor's out, I'd like to start grabbing the axles and the doors. And then after that, I'm going to give it about a week or 2. Nobody says anything by the end of the month. The rest of it's just going to go to scrap. So it's like little things that are worth money you never knew, like this wire harness and the PCM. You know, there was an extra 400 bucks for literally nothing, you know. But I think we're going to start doing this from now on. I might start buying second gens just to part them out like this. Like if I can buy a truck for super cheap, you know, you make your money back on the engine, then everything else is just extra money. So especially these axles, they're worth, you know, quite a bit. Oh, sorry OSHA and environmental protection. But other than that, all I gotta do is, yeah, pretty much load that up. I got the transmission cross member. Not the cross member. I got the front piece, the radiator core support. So I got that. That was brand new. Somebody put that in. There's your update video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys need anything, feel free, hit me up, steve@cpstevemiller.com, or just visit my website, because you can throw in, on my numbers on there, you can throw in a job inquiry, all that stuff. So we'll be busy all week. So if you guys need anything, feel free to hit me up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one.